Hey y'all! So it's so great to see you guys today or tonight or whenever you're watching this. My name is Isabella and I am a student from Columbus High School. I'm a sophomore. Myself and my school, as well as BSU, or Black Student Union, which is a organization I'm a part of, we are teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club to bring you guys of all ages, fun and varied content. We already do a literacy program, but we're also doing this YouTube channel where we will post a multitude of videos. So it could be anything along the lines of science, math, art, singing, a meditation, and stuff, what we're doing right now, which is going to be English or reading books and understanding, comprehending, stuff like that. Because we will have a discussion after the book, or at least after each chapter, just for discussion purposes, comprehension purposes. I found some activities maybe we could do after, just stuff to help you guys. Okay, so as I just mentioned, I will be part of the literacy program and I'm going to read to you guys. And our first graphic novel is called Sanity and Tallulah. It is by author Molly Brooks and it follows the story of these two young girls. They're obsessed with science and they're so bored. They're so bored. So they decide, we are going to make this summer fun, I don't know if you've heard of, like Phineas and Ferb, but it kind of gives me that vibe, So it's like they go on these crazy adventures, solve mysteries, they get into some trouble, but we will get into that later. So sit back, guys, listen, and we are going to get into our first graphic novel of this year, Sanity and Tallulah. Okay, guys. Sanity and Tallulah by Molly Brooks. Wilnick Station. Wow, you're so wrong right now that I don't understand how we're even friends. Janet Jupiter is not mean to Viscount Moon in episode 83. He told everybody her dad was a traitor. Of course she left him in the airlock when she went after Madame Mysterious. It's not like she emptied the air out. He was fine. Wait. So on number 12, did you get x minus 23 over y? All in parentheses divided by 7? Nope. X minus 23 over y, all in parentheses divided by 6? Nope. Oh. Tallulah! Nothing! Oh, good, you're both... Wait. Tallulah, what are you doing? Oh, homework. No, really, look. Then what did you sound so guilty about just now? Habit. Sorry, Mom. Well, calm down. I wasn't actually looking for you at all. I just figured wherever I found you, Sanity would be too. Hello, Dr. Vega. Hello, Sanity. It's interesting. I was checking the laboratory resources records this morning. Uh-oh. And I noticed that in the last 2 weeks, you've spent your science allowance on almost 30 kilos of nutrient-rich, soft protein cubes. Sanity, that protein is reserved for newborns and people with rare wasting diseases. Why exactly do you need so much of it? I can explain. Before you do, let me have one guess. Because I made a bet with myself that the protein cubes, the deodorizing sheets and shallow dishes you claimed from General Supply plus the frankly bizarre contraption I found under your workstation, all add up to Sanity engineered a carnivorous animal in the laboratory and has been feeding it out of my budget. So carnivorous, guys, means meat eater. So remember that, carnivorous means meat eater. Oh, Sanity, where did you get a mechanical womb? I know you didn't find that in general supply. I modified an old stasis chamber. I found it in secure equipment archives. Nobody was using it. Sanity, if it was locked away in the secure archives, then it runs on unstable Taffa matter. We phased that out years ago because it was incredibly dangerous. It's also totally incompatible with our current systems. How did you manage to convert? Never mind. We'll come back to that later. I assigned Dr. Chang to supervise your lab hours. But when I asked him about this experiment, he said you'd been submitting reports on a study of water storage capacity in flowering succulents. I did that too. And succulents are a small type of plant that usually doesn't need a bunch of water. And they're like cacti, but they're like super fun and cool to look at. Okay, so that's a succulent. And they're green usually, but they can vary in color. You deliberately hid your research from us. Because you're just going to take her away and I haven't finished analyzing her yet. And analyzing means to look at, to observe, when you have science experiments, you have a test and then you look at it and you're like, what is it doing? How long has it been? What can I change? That's analysis. Her Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds. Tallulah named her. Tallulah, you knew about this? Is that a trick question? Sanity, I've told you before, any experiment involving a vertebrate life form requires peer review, and Tallulah does not count. So a vertebrate would be an animal with a spine. Bringing creatures to life all by yourself is mad science territory. This is how people get eaten by their own creations or grow prehensile tails. Do you want to grow a prehensile tail and end up like Dr. Georges? No, ma'am. Okay, so a prehensile anything means it's able to grab onto and latch on. So you know how monkeys have prehensile tails? They can use their tails to grab onto tree branches. And you definitely should have told someone about it when it escaped. Experimental creatures have unpredictable habits and growth curves and escaped? She hasn't escaped. I mean, I've mostly been keeping her in my room after I made sure she wasn't toxic, but I've been watching her on monitors and when I'm not there. You stopped sneaking meat cubes almost a week ago. You still have her. What have you been feeding her? I started growing the meat in modified stasis chamber. She was just eating so much of it and my energy allowance was higher than my food allowance. So I figured, well, just use the energy to make the food, right? Let me make sure I'm following your thought process. You're feeding your carnivorous bioengineering experimental bioengineered meat that you cloned yourself, using completely untested equipment, running on unstable Taffa matter, and you're keeping this creature outside the lab? And it didn't occur to you to involve an adult in any point of this process. Okay, guys, so cloned means to make a copy of. Like if I am cloned, that means there's two of me, or two of you if you're cloned. Remember, carnivorous means meat eating, and bioengineering is like when it comes to engineering things that are alive or are going to help people who are alive. And engineering is like, mechanic stuff, like cars are engineered, phones are engineered, so stuff like that, like technology. But she's been locked in my room or under my observation the whole time. Or Tallulah sometimes. Yeah, and she's super cute. Sanity, I really should have asked this earlier, but exactly what sort of animal is Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds? Rustle, 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 rustle. That's Princess. That's Sparkle. And that's Destroyer of Worlds. Meet Grr. Boo. Each head operates independently, but they mostly seem to get along. Maybe don't try to give Destroyer of Worlds scritches before she's gotten to know you, though. And scritches is just another word for scratches, so she's telling the mom, don't pet the Destroyer of Worlds until they're familiar. All right, that is really cute. And Sanity, if you say she's been in your care at all times, I believe you, but this was still not an experiment you should have done without permission. Tallulah, you're grounded and limited to educational media only for the next week. Mom! No arguments, young lady. Maybe if you studied harder, you'd recognize a bad idea when you saw it. I can't be everywhere at once. I count on you girls to keep each other out of trouble. And Sanity, as senior scientist, I'm suspending your laboratory privileges until we sort this all out. And I will be sending a memo to both of your parents. And memo means just, a little notice. Like, she sends a little email telling them what's happened. For now, keep an eye on the kitten while I get a secure cage set up in the lab. And don't break any ethical research tenets or laws of nature until I get back. And ethical means morals and what you think is right and wrong. And there are usually sanctioned overall ethics that people generally agree on. So like, as a society, we believe this is right or this is wrong, or as scientists, this is what we should and shouldn't do, like, inflicting harm on animals, that's something you shouldn't do. So that would be ethical research tenets, and tenets is just another word for law or rules. It's good to see you, Sanity. Your dad working late again? Yeah, food production just turned into their quarterly reports. He'll be up to his eyeballs in hydroponic growth charts all week. Beep, beep, click. Thanks for having me over. Beep, beep, munch, munch. Of course, sweetheart. You know you're always welcome. Horace, please put away that while we're at the table. But Sanity has her screen out. Sanity's monitoring a lab experiment. She has permission to keep an eye out on it during dinner. And monitoring just means, like he said, to keep an eye on something and to make sure everything's all right. To observe it. Are you sure? It looks like a cat. It's an experimental cat. Hank, how did the deliveries go today? Fine. Everybody's at the Tortuga station sends you their best, and Hugo wanted me to be sure to let you know how much they appreciated the extra turbo pumps. I can imagine what they're doing to make those engines burn out so quickly. As soon as I have a day free to get out there and see if there's any efficiency upgrades I can help them with. Bless Hugo's heart, but I really don't think he knows what to do with a dual-core turbinate system. Dad, did you go to the Epsilon station today? No. Inbound cargo got delayed. It'll make for a bit of a long haul this weekend. Actually, I was thinking you kids could come along if you wanted. But to be exact, won't be too exciting, but it's a chance to get off Wilnick for a couple of days, and I could use a hand with the cargo. OMG, yes! Unfortunately, Tallulah's grounded this week for bad science choices. Mom, can't I be grounded next week instead? Nothing's cool is happening next week. And I haven't been to the Epsilon station in forever. They'll have intercepted like 5 new Janet Jupiter broadcasts by now. I have to find out what happened to her after the Mutiny Stardust base in episode 92. Good try, but that's not even slightly how it works. Maybe next time you'll think twice before abetting mad science. And abetting means like aiding and abetting, like you're there in the process, usually of a crime that is being committed, or in this case, something that Sanity was not supposed to do, and nor Tallulah was supposed to do. Tallulah was complicit and helped Sanity, or at least kept it quiet, so she is part of the problem in this situation. I'll go. Horace can go. Yes! Sorry, Jellybean. Looks like it's just me and Horace this time. Pat, pat. Later that night. Beep, 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 beep. No. Beep, beep, beep. What? Tallulah? Princess Sparkle Destroyer of Worlds escaped. Huh? She got out of the cage in Mom's lab a couple minutes ago. I was watching her on the security feed. Okay, what did she really escape, or did she escape? And this is you establishing an alibi. An alibi means you have a certain story for where you've been, and again, usually in a crime, which is they're using a comparison to a crime because it's something she wasn't supposed to do. So they're saying an alibi, meaning, oh, this is what happened, but it's not what really happened. This is my story for where I was. But sometimes alibis can be true, like were you on the night that Princess Sparkle Destroyer escaped? Oh, I was here with this person. That would be an alibi. Tallulah, get up. My kitten's missing. She's never been outside on her own before. What if she gets hurt? Okay, sorry. I'll meet you, where was she again? Public Biolab B45. Thud. Eep. Right. I'll be there in 10 minutes, okay? Okay? You don't get caught sneaking. You're still grounded, remember? Click. The B Labs. Hey. There you are. It's been almost 12 minutes. I stopped to get these. Ah! Where do you think she went? Well, it's possible that she missed me so much she broke out to come look for me, but I think probably she just got hungry. Your mom had them dump out all the protein I grew, so I thought we could follow the trail first. Okay, so where'd they put it? Central Biohazard Disposal this way. Huh? I don't think I've ever walked around late enough that all the lights are off before. It's kind of spooky. Do you think the dark makes things spooky for Princess Sparkle Destroyer of Worlds too? Or is it just a people thing? Oh gosh, what if she's lost and scared? What if she got stuck somewhere and we never find her and she thinks I abandoned her? It's okay, Sanity. We'll totally find her. I'm sure you're right, and she just followed the weird meat. She probably doesn't trust not weird meat or whatever my mom's lab assistants were trying to feed her. Do you think your mom's gonna be mad at me that she escaped? Why? It's not your fault. You kept track of her the whole time. It's Mom's lab, and she got out of it. Yeah, but she's still my responsibility, right? I made her, and I guess that part was kind of dangerous and unethical. Well, it doesn't matter because we're gonna find her and put her back before anyone else notices she's missing. How did she get out anyways? Princess bit down on the latch while Sparkle lifted the release lever with her nose. Ah, such a smart kitty. Ooh, you're right, this place looks totally different at night. Here, we can cut through the dockside corridor. It's the way the waste drone would have gone. So a corridor just means like a doorway. You can remember that because it has the word, well, it sounds like it has the word door in it, corridor. Wait, is the biohazard disposal near the docks? Yeah, so it's easier to load onto the garbage shuttles. Why? Oh, I am strictly forbidden from going to the docks. Mom thinks I'll accidentally stow away a smuggler ship and embark on a life of crime or something. As if. Well, you're already in trouble once because of my kitten. Do you want to go back? It's okay if you do. I can look myself. Are you kidding? This is the perfect excuse to go where I'm not supposed to. To be when I'm not supposed to. To be there. I'm sorry you don't get to go to the Epsilon station with your dad. And I do appreciate you coming along to help me look for Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds. You didn't have to, but I knew you'd help if I asked you to, so thanks. Tallulah? Cool. Tallulah, what are you doing? Come on. Sanity, check it out, a docking ship. Wow. No, but it's way cooler from this angle than the windows in the cafeteria. Look, you can see the thrusters firing and everywhere. Tallulah, focus. We're looking for Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds. Right. Sorry. So, which way is all the gross stuff? Over here. Danger, no, is what it says on the door. Are you sure it's safe to go in? Yeah, just don't touch, well, anything. Tonk, cloak. Greek. Oh man, oh wow. It's way grosser than I expected. It helps if you don't breathe through your nose. Yeah, but my eyes are watering. Ugh, what is even in here? Just try not to think about it. Do you want to see my kitten? Oh man, what's that? What? There? That's the protein I cloned in the old stasis chamber. That's how it looks before I dice it up into kitten food. Wait, that's the weird meat you made that? You made that? Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds, likes eating that? What's wrong with it? Sanity, it looks like a nightmare puked it up. Ooh. It's very nutritious. It's the actual worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm standing in a big room full of stuff so disgusting and toxic that it's making my nose run. Just look around for my kitten, please. Princess Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Sparkle, Destroyer of Worlds, Princess. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Sanity, I don't think she's here. Also, I don't feel so great. Yeah, I think you're right, but this was my only real idea. Clunk. If she's not here, then I don't know where else to look. What if I never see her again? Gasp. What if she gets hurt? What if someone else finds her and she's way happier with them than she'll ever be with me? What if she forgets about me? Hey, no, we'll find her. Well, oh, I know. We'll go check around the cafeteria nearest the lab she was in. If she was hungry and went looking for the horrifying nightmare meat, Maybe she passed by the cafeteria on her way and got distracted. It would be the closest source of food smells, right? Yeah, I guess it's worth a try. Now they're in the freight docks. Sweet, so we'll just... Eep! Tallulah, what? Shh! The alternator itself looks okay to me, so my guess is that there's a loose connection somewhere in the wiring. That's Jeff, the head of the shuttle tech. He'll definitely tell my mom if he sees me here. We'll just hide back here till he leaves. Sometimes in old ships, the connections wear out and stuff just comes unplugged. Also, possible that the insulation's degraded. But I'll have to go in and look at it to tell you for sure. And degraded means to be broken down, to come apart, to have broken up from its natural state. And insulation is something you put in houses to trap the heat. So that's where we're stopping here today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We made it to page 47, and I will see you, or another team member will be seeing you next week. So have a great week, guys, or weekend. Bye. Hey, guys, so let's have a quick discussion. So as promised, I said I would talk a little bit after the book. So here we are. We have finished where I think is a really good stopping point. We have ended up at a point where these two girls have gotten themselves into a sticky situation. I mean, these workers at the lab are toting something where Sanity and Tallulah are sitting. So now we're like, how are they going to get out of this situation? Are they going to get out of this situation? Because remember, Tallulah is still in trouble, and she's being very loyal to Sanity by going with her, which in your own life, you could interpret that as good or bad. Sometimes it's good to be there for your friend. Usually it is, but sometimes you need to look out for your own interests. But either way, these two girls are in a very sticky situation. And we could think about the scenarios that could happen with the three-headed cat. So, one, I mean, the workers could find the girls and then rat them out. The workers could find the girls and help them. Because when you think about a story, usually it progresses. So probably they're going to get out of this. So the workers could help them. They could see the cat from across the lab and it could almost mess up their plans. They could escape totally fine without the workers noticing them. They could get into one of the cargo trucks, So there's a lot of possibilities that could happen. But to go back to before this point in the story real quick, let's think about this relationship that the two girls have, okay? So they're friends, and they're very loyal to each other. They're very good friends, and it seems like they're living in some kind of spaceship out in the middle of nowhere past Earth, out in the universe, which is it looks really beautiful, really gorgeous, really advanced. So this must be somewhere far, far, far in the future. But they are having a wonderful time. It looks like there are jobs out in space, and when you look at Tallulah's family, because as the text alluded to, it is Tallulah's family, and Sanity is just her friend who is staying over, but is very close. So, because her dad has a job that's kind of out of the way, it seems. So, the family looks it's very unique, but it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and they harmonize very well. And when you can see at the table, even when they're having disagreements, they still love each other, and they're still there for each other, and one disagreement does not mean the end of the world. So that is where I'm going to stop, but thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day. I will see you next week.